Hey, remember that time your mom told you to never play with knives or fire? The bitch was wrong. It's awesome. I'm back in the good old USA to join forces with Baltimore Knife and Swords and their blacksmiths to film no less than 2 episodes of Man-at-Arms Reforged, makers of the most awesome weapons you've seen on the internet this past decade. I'll be teaming up with Terry Stagmar and my buddy Gary Jimenez on an adventure that started a couple months ago. It was June of last year where we all met up in Los Angeles, California, where our Man-at-Arms showed off some cool weapons they built for the project I've been working on. And we hit it off so well at a corporate pool party that we decided that we had to work more together. And now 3 a.m. mid-December, here I am fulfilling that promise, provided TSA believes my story. A much-needed large bowl of caffeine and a horrendous yogurt granola bowl, and I am off into the clouds. Quebec to Toronto, Toronto to Chicago, and Chicago to Baltimore, with no entertainment whatsoever, so I guess I'm just gonna pretend race this other plane right there. Should it be so close though? And after a direct flight that would have been 4 hours but actually took 16, I am here.
How you doing? Good.
Check this out, I am really here. Look, there's even a blacksmith dressed up like a blacksmith should, doing what a blacksmith would in a blacksmith shop. Show me around, Gary.
This is a machine shop. You can tell because there are machines.
Yeah, I've seen those machines on Man-at-Arms before.
This is the grinding room.
Yeah, you can tell by the grinding that's happening in it.
Yes. You can tell by the way it is.
And of course, there is the main forge where the show is usually shot in, but right now, Terry and show producer Brendan are busy setting up for my shots. Gary tells me about the rules of the shop, which obviously includes never picking up something made out of metal, because you can burn your hand off. And while the boys finish setting up, he pulls me into the wood shop so that we can discuss some of his own work.
Generally, I will do all of the hot work for stuff like this, so anything that's Damascus will generally be me. So I will do batch work, 12, 15 knives at a time. A friend of mine does this. He laminates these, calls it E-Carta, because there's a material known as micarta. Yeah,
I know.
Exactly. Yeah, you're a bushcraft guy, you know.
I know micarta.
Here.
I know paper micarta.
There's some paper micarta.
Yay!
And I prep a bunch of handles beforehand. So we have different sizes for the different types of knives. So that's for petty and utility size knives. So anything under 200 millimeters blade length and anything over 210 millimeters blade length gets this size. And it's all stabilized wood.
So how do you stabilize wood?
You place the wood into a vacuum chamber, pull as hard a vacuum as you can. And let it sit and soak inside of this thermoset resin. It's a urethane-based thermal resin that once it reaches over 150 degrees Celsius, it will then crystallize and it functionally turns wood into an organic plastic.
Nerd.
It says a game dev.
You're filming me, I'm filming you.
Film inception going on. Mine's bigger.
Well.
All right.
Mine was made by Steve Jobs. Okay, we're about ready to shoot, and here's a sneak peek of how things are done behind a curtain. Today, Gary is going to be on smoke duty, so every time I answer a question, he puffs a little bit of smoke and then push it around to create that perfect Man-at-Arms atmosphere. Cheap labor.
Yeah.
There you go. VIP treatment right there.
This is what we call a fluffer.
This is fun. This is what you do all day, Gary?
No.
This is cool.
I make expensive dust.
What, are you Mexican? Come on, it's just a cartel joke. Don't send Trejo after me.
What?
I like this. Okay, the smoke has been blown, the lights are on, and the cameras are rolling. Let's see how I do on Man-at-Arms. Fogman, good job. Good job, sir.
We did it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kerry Stagmore. This is cool.
Yeah, so this machine is made a little after 1850, and it engraves the background like you see on a Fabergé or a Cartier piece from the 1920s. It's pretty straightforward. That's what most people are used to seeing. So it'll cut a pattern like this, and then typically that metal would be enameled, so you'd have a clear enamel over top of it, and that would give you your final finish for a piece of jewelry. So it would be cut in gold or platinum or silver.
So, like, each of them makes different patterns, I suppose?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And are these things you found in, like, antique shops? And you know somebody who knows somebody?
Yeah, it's almost always that you know somebody. It is very rarely that you find them for sale anywhere. And
it's cool.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it took 20 years to see my first one. And now I have a big collection of them. So.
Yeah.
Speaking of collections, there are cool objects absolutely everywhere.
Damn.
Including builds from the show, like the amazing Alucard Castlevania sword, or Kratos' Leviathan axe from God of War, and my son's favorite Optimus Prime sword from The Last Night.
Did you forget who I am?
But even more impressive to me is Kerry's collection of ancient katanas dating all the way back to the 14 and 1500s, and he's letting me handle them too.
Still a price tag on it. Is it a price tag?
I think
Or
it
is
just
that...
says Hosen School. Yeah, I have 500 on it, which I would not sell it for anymore.
I'll put that away.
I'd probably be at least 10 grand on that. Yeah, I think this is maybe Jewish. Yeah, this is from this is his son. And so this is more typical of a katana.
Yeah, the length.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is really more the size of a normal sword.
And the katanas just keep on coming.
That's a boy's sword.
Yes.
A boy sword.
That's a boy's sword. That's a small sword for like a younger boy.
So that's the signature.
That's a wedding present.
Really?
It was abused.
America.
Was that before or after the wedding that it got abused?
Go salvage.
Oh, totally. It just takes a little bit of olive grease. You can bring this back up to full polish.
You guys know any good smiths? Antiques all around.
Quick lunch at a local Mexican joint. Kerry and I are sitting back down to shoot a podcast episode.
Kerry's beard is much bigger, much cooler than mine, actually. Do you use any beard oil in that thing?
WD-40, baby.
There you go.
Please check out Kerry's Forge and Foundry podcast when you get a chance. It's very good.
Alright, so Gary here wants me to forge a kunai. This is a terrible idea, but we'll still try it.
It'll be fine.
Alright, you can fix it in post.
Okay, we'll need plenty of heat, a piece of high carbon wrought iron, and quite a few hits with this hammer, I guess. But first, Gary needs a tool to punch a hole in this kunai, so let's pick his brain while he does this.
I know heat treatment makes steel harder, but I don't know how it does it.
So what you can see here, these little wiggly bits inside the steel itself, that's the crystal structure of the steel. Steel is a amalgamation of, depending on the day, depending on the alloy, 4 to 6 different crystalline structures. What we do to harden this steel is we crash these crystals out of solution. What you're gonna do is take this, just like that, almost to the edge of the tongs. Then you're gonna do 2 hits, flip, 2 hits, flip. So you heat it up to this temperature called the Curie point, roughly 650 to 700 degrees Celsius. You soak it at that temperature for 10, 15, 20 minutes, depends on the cross section, and then you quench it into oil, water, or brine. You cool it down fast. What that does is it takes all the crystal structures that are like this, and it stresses them out.
Compresses them. Sort of.
Some structures will get compressed, some structures expand. That's how we take a straight katana, and it gets sori.
Bands.
It gets a bend. When you see it quench, it actually goes down, then back up. this axe, modeled after 11th century Germanic blades. I want this to stay straight. I actually heat up the spine first because it's thicker, and then invert the blade and heat up the edge, and then get it all heated full. Punch straight down reduces any risk of hurting. Punching like this, you're gonna get soggy.
Oh, hold on, Gary's taking off his shirt. I can't let him get away with this without competing.
Well, you're wearing company shirt, and I'm wearing company shirt.
Company shrill.
Steel is a substitutional and interstitial alloy. Those are fancy words for saying my fingers are iron molecules. Occasionally, it gets replaced by vanadium, or a nickel, or a chromium. And in the spaces between my fingers, carbon gets inserted. What we're doing in all of this is just controlling where that carbon goes and what shape it's in.
That's super interesting. I got most of it, and then I'll replay it 3 times, and I go, okay.
It's the same process, same science as tempering chocolate or tempering a custard.
Now Gary needs to use that punch and punch an actual hole in this kunai.
How's it going? How's it going?
Good, how are you doing?
Just had a good shoot with Simon here. Excited for you guys to see it. And excited to see what he's making over here, too. This is,
He refers to Gary in that case.
yeah, I have footage. I have footage of you swinging, so...
I'm swinging, but really Gary's holding.
We gotta be a little gentle and slowly open up the hole. One in this side, next team going through this side.
Usually what I do is I just spin on it.
Okay, now for the tempering process to occur, put it back in the forge, let it soak for a bit. I think Gary's going for brine, which looks particularly disgusting, and a final plunge in good old cold water. And there you go.
I'll be right back.
Okay, well, I'll be here looking at the hammer, thinking it's cool. Wow, that's cool.
And as Gary puts the final grind on this kunai, I think this build went pretty well.
Oh man.
Haven't felt that manly since I rode my first bike. It's my own kunai, which I forged all by myself with absolutely no supervision from anyone competent.
Wow, you're so good at this!
I know, right?
You could be a man at
I do have arms.
limbs. Oh, arms.
I do have arms.
Wait, say that again. Man
With arms?
with arms.
See it first.
Unforged.
You heard it there first, folks. Unforged. Men with arms unforged. Yeah, that's my show now. It's really cool.
Yo, Gary, get the lights, will ya? And we're done for the day.
Kerry. Yes. I think your employees have a dirty hands problem.
That's probably me.
And in what is apparently a man-at-arms tradition at this point, we're heading for Hot Pot Hero.
Okay, how do you do a spice? Can't say something specific.
Better than a Canadian should.
Alright, so.
But not as good as I did back in Asia.
Oh, wait till the meat plate hits. That's the picture.
Yeah. Well, it's a build-up, you know?
Holy moly!
And as we eat our own body weight through mountains of meat, I've got to say, I really enjoyed my time here in Baltimore. Kerry and his crew have been nothing but welcoming, with Kerry picking me up and driving me back to the airport on his own car in his own time, making me feel super welcome. And that is despite the fact that I stayed at this super creepy haunted hotel owned by the Luigi Mangione family. Oh, French Canadian pilot. There you go. And as I say goodbye to what is just about to become Trumplandia all over again, it's been a real pleasure, and I hope to work with you guys in the future, whatever it may hold.
Just about midnight. I need a shower.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Nice hole. Thank you, Gary.